Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Body Podcast. This is Sarah Haas. I am really glad you're here, and I'm also excited to introduce a special guest that I have with me today. Her name is Lisa Mullins, and Lisa is in education. She's a teacher. She is a very hardworking woman. Not only that, she takes care of her middle school age grandson. So she's already raised her kids and now she's got this other challenge on her plate. So she is a busy woman and she is absolutely killing it. And so I wanted you guys to hear her story because it's so inspirational. And so that I love it when you guys can hear what other women have gone through, because I know a lot of you can identify with some of their situations and some of the mindset things that they're dealing with. And I want you to know how possible it is. Not only possible, but it absolutely can happen for you to come out on the other side. So, Lisa, thank you for being here today. It's so great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mentioned you're a teacher and you're a mom and a grandmother. Tell
Mhm.
us just a little bit more about your life and so we can get to know you a little better.
Okay, so I've been teaching for around 28 years, and I teach all subjects, and I've taught all sorts of grades and also adults. And I was a college professor for a while. So I've done all that. As you know, I'm 61 years old. I'll admit that. And so as I grew older, it was harder and harder to maintain my body. But now I'm doing really well. I had some problems over the years, some traumas. I've had cancer in 1996. I've had eating disorders all through my life. And that was more like bulimic type things when I was younger. And so I've been through divorce. I've had lots of family crisis and that sort of thing. So those are all the bad things. But
But
and there's
you
more, of course.
and what I'm hearing is you had not a great self-image and not a good relationship with food and with your body.
Right. Yeah, I spent years trying to control my body weight through all sorts of different things, including the eating disorders, but also through over exercising, compulsively logging food, counting calories, you know, emotionally distraught when I couldn't exercise, and then going through periods of just not doing anything and just eating
And so
and
never really feeling
unhealthy.
good one way or another. You're going from one extreme
Right.
to the other. So when you're restricting and trying, having the disordered eating, you're not happy, obviously. You think you will be if
Right.
you get to a certain size. And then the pendulum swings to the other direction where you're not taking care of your health at all. And this is something you dealt with for a really long time.
Yes.
And
Yes. 4 years.
did your weight fluctuate during all of this?
Yes. Um, yeah, I would go from, when I was super exercising, for example, I was as low, like 125 pounds, and I'm 5'3", but, that looked good or felt good. But then my last, weigh-in that was really shocking to me, I was 181 pounds. And when I was just after my child was born in 1982, I had surpassed 200. So yeah, my weight has fluctuated all through the years
So
according
really
to what
one
I'm doing.
extreme to the other. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then your mental health during all this is just not good. And I know when you came to me, you were dealing with a lot of um the logging of your food and pushing to exercise, but
Mhm.
you weren't happy with your
No.
weight or with your body.
No, in fact, I went to a doctor's appointment and saw that I was 181 and I started to compulsively exercise and diet at that time and watching every single calorie that went into my body. But I was not dealing with what was going on. I was sad, disgusted was one of the words that I used when I met you with my body. And I just couldn't see it changing. And I saw that in the future, that's all I was going to have, you know, that there was just no way.
Yeah, because you were
I s-
doing the things that you used to do, which weren't healthy to begin with.
Right.
They weren't working anymore because your body's changed, you're a different age, and plus the weight cycling, the up and down kind of, it takes its toll after a
Yes.
while. And you were skipping a lot of meals. You were just
Yeah.
working through the day and kind of thinking, okay, the less I take in, the more weight I'll lose.
Yes, and that did not work. And that was, happening at work because I was so busy, but then just the inconvenience of it, having to get in your car and go somewhere and all that, and or have somebody get it for you, and it was always like fast food. I had a real problem with my lunch was usually around 11 or 10:30, and biscuits, and I love biscuits, but I was eating like chicken biscuits all the time, and they really weren't satisfying me, nor were they healthy at all. And that food and that pattern of eating really wasn't helping me.
You weren't enjoying the food you were eating.
No,
So
I
tell
wasn't.
me tell me what changes that you've been able to make and share with the listeners kind
Okay,
of what
so
turned you around the corner.
around March, I decided that I was gonna. I looked back at my life and decided that one of the main things that had helped me to lose weight in the past was the exercise, and I was walking all the time and doing that sort of thing, but that wasn't helping. So I knew I had to go to a strength building, and I started lifting weights again, and that has really turned my body composition around. And I also started running. I had two goals. One was I would run a mile on my own, completely through, and I would get up off the floor without help. And so I set out with that, but it was a slow go at first because I didn't have the skills or the tools to actually do it, lose weight the way I wanted. And so I started working with you, and you helped me to see that it was more than the food and the exercise, that it was actually the way that I was living and thinking. And as I started to overcome things like self-esteem and negative thinking, I started to see more progress. And so now I'm on not such a strict exercise program, just a regular exercise program. And now I eat much cleaner and healthier because my body wants that.
Yeah,
And
and it
so
started with just tiny steps. Like you
it
said,
did.
I wanna make sure I can get up off the floor without help because we wanna age well. We don't
Yeah.
wanna be helpless. We don't wanna be weak and our muscles atrophy. And, most people are not gonna just get up and instantly start this weight training regimen and running and all that. And some people may never get all the way to that level, but it's just about starting, and it's just about taking that first step and doing something, and then it all kind of snowballs in a positive direction. And I do want to mention one thing for the listeners. I am not an eating disorder coach. I am not qualified, or that is not something that I work with people on. And I made that really clear when you came to
You
see
did.
me, that no, I will not be helping you count calories. I will not be helping you log your food. And, I always recommend that if someone is struggling with something like that, that they go see a mental health professional who is trained in that area. But I did tell you that I could help you work on your mindset and feeling good about yourself
Mhm.
and not punishing and not feeling like the only way that you are worth anything is if you lose weight or if you get to a certain size. And that if you chose to get help from an outside source, that the work we did together would just be complementary to that. Because I want to make that clear. I don't work with your past traumas and, that's not my area. So I just wanted to make that clear. But, you had a desire to make a change and you knew that this cycle wasn't working for you. You weren't happy no matter where you were in the pattern,
Mhm.
and you have just done an amazing job of changing your mindset and the way that you feel about yourself.
Well, a lot of it had to do with the tools that you gave me, the journaling and the meditating and the self-reflection and, at the end of the day, what have you done and how are you thankful other than just you lost weight, but your entire life. And so I think those things have helped me this time to make this a permanent, situation.
Oh yeah, because when you don't feel good, you're not gonna be healthy. You're not gonna it's not motivating. It doesn't you we think if we punish and push, that's gonna keep us on track, but really that's what takes you from one extreme to the other and keeps you in that cycle, that unhealthy pattern. And a lot of times it's really about finding our own self-worth,
Mhm.
realizing that the number doesn't matter. Our body isn't what makes us worthy.
Mhm.
And taking the time to slow down. And like you said, you started realizing everything that you're grateful for and journaling and taking time for yourself. Self care is where it all starts because if you don't, you have to love yourself before you get to any weight. You have to learn that you are amazing and wonderful and perfectly imperfect. And then that's when the positive changes start happening. And you did end up losing weight in a very healthy
And
way.
yes, I did. Um, you know, 152 now, and that's from working with you. And I've gone down from I wore 16 pants, size 16. Now I'm down to a 12 and sometimes 10. So, according to how they're made. But I'm so proud of not the size, but how my body looks because of the muscle definition and the tone muscles. It's just, it looks good
And
and it
also
feels,
knowing that your body is healthy and knowing that you're nurturing and nourishing yourself
yes.
and that everything you're doing is positive as far as your overall health. And I told you when we started working together, weight loss is not going to be our goal. It's not going to be our focus in any
Right.
way. And sometimes it's a happy side effect.
Right.
When you
It's
get
not,
healthy and you start eating well and you start having energy and motivation and wanting to exercise and start feeling good, that's when
yes.
the weight comes off and that's when the magic happens.
Right. And another factor that was playing on my weight loss or weight gain was stress. And you helped me with seeing that, just say no is a big thing and hire it out and all those kind of things. And then it's really helped. Over this past summer, I've really made some changes in my life where it's just not that stressful now, even on days that it should be, because I have those things to back me up. I have meal prepped. I have the food service. I have, just a simple thing as a robot vacuum because now every day I go home and my floors are clean. So it really took a lot of stress out of my life.
Yeah, you have to set up your life in a way that's going to support your health goals. Because if you just try to go right to the diet and right to the exercise, and your schedule and life is not set up in a way that you're really gonna have time to do it, you're just gonna burn out. You're just gonna burn out, and it really, like you said, it's hard to say no. We're not raised to say no. You and I are Southern girls, and
Right.
especially here, but really all over the world. We're not taught to say no. We are taught to take care of everyone. And you're a teacher. So you're in a nurturing, caring profession. You have kids and grandkids, and so you're used to taking care of everybody else, and in the meantime, you were neglecting your own needs.
Yes.
And I love the mindset change that you've been able to make, and that you always just have this beautiful smile on your face and a lightness about you and a joyfulness. And when I first met you, it was a really more of a heavy energy, not
Yeah.
just the physical in any way, but the emotional. You were carrying all that
Mhm.
emotional weight, and I
Yes.
commend you. Just,
Thank you.
you're amazing. You're an amazing person, and
Thank
I'm
you.
just so proud of the progress you've made and the place that you are in now. And I think a lot of what you said, a lot of women are gonna be able to relate to the stress and the and the negative body image and the negative messages that you're sending to yourself. And so I just wanna thank you so much for being open and vulnerable and sharing your story with us.
Sure. Thank you for helping me.
It was great to have you, Lisa. All right. And
Okay.
thank you, everybody, for listening. I really appreciate it. And as usual, I will see you next time.